And again, what it feels like is to trust the innocence more than you trust what you think that you know. And you trust your state of being innocent more. You trust in that more. You find your safety in being innocent more than you focus on or insist upon an outcome or a certain safety in a certain way out there. You trust in the safety of your own innocence, of your own softness, of your own surrender. And in that softness, in that surrender, in that humility, in that openness, you can begin to become that receiving force, that satellite dish, which will greatly empower you, paradoxically. It is the humility. It is the surrender of knowledge. It's the surrender of rigidity. It's the surrender of expectations. It's the surrender of judgment that makes you the embodiment of love once again. So
what about if I attract so much with this innocence? No fear. Feel no fear to attract that much.
Can you say that again? I didn't quite get that.
To don't have fear. What about if I attract more than I want with the sensation of innocent?
What do you mean attract more than you want?
I felt what you are telling me just is something that instead of my energy to be like this, it's just more like inside and more innocent, like more vulnerable. And I feel like that attract more of the masculine. And I don't know if I want that that
yes,
attention.
Well, you do need to have high standards to practice this, which again means you got to be discerning. And it's true, and it's a good point you bring up. If you do begin to radiate this innocence,
Yes.
almost virtually all men, no matter how many problems they still have running around in their minds, will be greatly attracted to that. Because they all seek that. They all seek that liberation, and they seek that nourishment. And not at a fault of their own per se. Like that's just the way nature is programmed. And they also have a tough life, typically. So they seek that nourishment. They seek that innocence. And not every man is ready to handle that with integrity or with clarity. They're just not ready for that. So what I was talking about was from the perspective of already having found someone that you trust. And within that container, practicing the innocence and the surrender, because otherwise you never will practice that. If nobody's ever good enough for you, then that's another fault, and that's another sort of protective barrier that just shoots yourself in the foot. So there does have to be some openness, right? There has to be some risk involved. You have to be willing for your heart to be broken on a human level. If you're not willing to do that, then forget about it. If you're not willing to have your heart broken, not that that needs to happen, but I'm saying if you're not willing to take that risk, to step into the uncertainty, then you're definitely not willing, ready to be the divine feminine, which has absolutely no fears or considerations. She is receptive to all energies, still discerning on a human level, still smart on a human level. But I was speaking more strictly within the safe container of being with a man that you already trust, that you know is trustworthy. Maybe not, God's perfection. But
sorry. And in my day by day?
In your day by day, you kind of, it's tricky. And this is where I think it's very important that the masculine gets educated, because it will make it easier for the feminine to blossom and radiate this innocence all the time. But it's a little bit tricky going out there, admittedly, and being fully open in this way. So, one second. It's okay for now. It's okay to not radiate that out everywhere you go.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's okay to shield yourself a little bit. Just remember when you're back in the comfort and safety of your own house, remember to open back up to God as that all-pervasive, all-supportive, all-trusting, natural force, that masculine force, and or with the partner that you've attracted that you trust. Soften those barriers again. Really, If you want to put up your shields when you go out there, or if you have to sometimes, that's okay. But just minimize the amount of time that you need to do that. Do it discerningly, do it with wisdom, and do it consciously, not identifying with it. Just realizing, okay, I'm in public. I understand what's going on. If I start radiating like a fucking divine, fragrant flower here, then shit's going to hit the fan, and I'm... Yes. Now, it can, in certain situations, that can be a beautiful gift that you offer. So if you feel safe enough in the environment where you are, you could try it and see what happens. But if if you're walking around the streets by yourself and it's like 10 p.m., don't do that. Maybe. So it's okay. It's okay to shield yourself. It's okay to make yourself a little bit more invisible when you're going out into the matrix, especially depending on the context and the situation. That's okay for now. That's relatively smart. That's relatively speaking wise for now. I mean, times are changing, but it may still take some time for that to be totally safe everywhere you go. But imagine the beauty of that. Imagine women all around the world being able to, wherever they go, whenever, whatever time of day, whatever city, whatever area of the planet, where they could just radiate that complete receptivity and that complete trust and openness. It'd be gorgeous, and it'd be very balancing for the masculine, it'd be very balancing for the feminine, and it'd be very balancing for the earth. But for now, I would be irresponsible to say just do this everywhere you go. So it's totally okay to shield yourself, but do it more consciously. Don't believe that's who you are. You're not that quality of shielding. It's not necessary. You don't need to thrive in that society. You don't need to become masculine and shielded as sort of something to show off with and then call that equality and all that bullshit. You want to ascend to the true feminine. You want to balance yourself into the true feminine. That's my suggestion. For the most part, practice that when you're in the safety of your own home, when you're in the safety of a partner that you trust, friends that you trust. And that's enough. Like, for the most part, that's what you should spend time with anyway. If you're spending the majority of your time walking around the matrix, I'm not sure why you would be doing that. But